Aaron Dykes here for Infowars.com. Now, it's all over the media how a Sky News reporter in China was detained by police because they were filming at the Tiananmen Square and they were talking about the 1989 Tiananmen Square protest.
Not very well. We're currently being detained by the Beijing police,
That's when police approached them and put them on a bus.
getting onto the van as we speak.
They've stopped us because of one word, I think it was. We were talking about the 1989 protest. They didn't like that. They've stopped us. And so now we've been brought to the police station.
And then later told them they weren't authorized to do their media work.
By the media policies in China, and if you like to go on with your media work, you need to get the permissions.
As an Infowars reporter for more than 7 years, I've been all over the country filming B-roll, filming protests, doing interviews for Alex, and I've encountered this over and over again, especially in cities like Washington, D.C., where we're told that you can't film in public even though there's a clear First Amendment.
How you doing, guys?
How you doing?
Can I take a look at your film permit real quick?
Sorry?
Your film permit?
Yeah, it's called the First Amendment.
Hey, how are you?
Can you turn the camera off, please? Federal agent.
Okay. Is there a problem?
Yes. Thanks. Do you have your driver's license on you?
Well, sir, like I said,
There's a sign right here that states no electrical equipment, no video camera, no filming.
here they got 3 cop cars on us. But
What are they saying?
They're not
they're-
letting us leave.
yeah,
Taking some shots, man.
Just get my logo real quick. Be about 20 seconds. That's supposed to.
Well, is there a law, or, I mean...
Can't film the building.
You go through public affairs.
No, I'm just getting some interior shots
No, you need to go through public affairs for you to videotape or take pictures
of any federal building.
of any federal building.
If anyone's filming, they might be looking for me in Iraq, man. I killed one too. Well, I didn't kill one too many. I killed this one.
Do you folks have a permit to film here video?
We do not.
We're done, but we're just about done.
In Kansas City, we were approached by security guards who said they had been contacted by the Federal Reserve Bank, which was more than 200 yards across the street, while we were filming from inside a World War I memorial. And they tried to force us to identify ourselves and then to leave under duress of being threatened with arrest.
The federal bank was concerned about you guys taking video of their building, so we just wanted to make sure to see what you were back to them.
I'm sorry?
We were just seeing who you were and what you were doing. What's your name?
My name's Aaron.
Okay.
And we're just
You're fine. You're
we're
not
just
doing
checking out
anything
this
wrong.
memorial.
You're
So
not doing anything wrong, okay? What's your last name, sir?
I'm not going to give you my last name.
Then you guys can leave right now.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Guys, let's go.
why do I have to leave?
Because you're with him.
Where's the property end?
Okay.
Park. Well, if he gave his name, then he doesn't have to leave.
He did give his name, but
Okay.
it's kind of guilt by association. You guys need to go ahead and go.
What is guilt by association?
Sir, we're not going to answer any more
Leave.
questions. You can go to jail or you can leave. Are you a police officer, sir?
We've
We do have arrest powers. Do you want to go to jail?
Am I under arrest?
No, you're not under arrest. Not yet. You need to leave.
You're encroaching on our First Amendment right.
No, we are not.
Why not? This is public property? We have a right.
Go ahead and go. Now.
Then at the Texas Capitol, I was approached by an aggressive officer who didn't like the fact that I was filming and tried to force me to identify myself and detain me until he talked with his superiors.
Who are you?
Talk to me.
Yeah. Who are you? Huh? Let me see your ID. You don't have an ID? Let me see your driver's license. Peace officer, sir. I'm a state police, and put the camera some other direction.
Don't touch my camera.
ID, sir. Show me your ID, please.
Why?
Suspicious person, how's that? Let me see your ID, please, sir.
It happens at airports, even though TSA's own policy admits that people have the right to film their encounters. We're told over and over again that we can't film TSA and that we don't have a right to report on what's happening inside airports, in clear violation of the First Amendment and common law.
I want to film this. Okay, you can't do that. It says so on your website that we can. Your website says we can.
Sir? Sir, the First Amendment says we don't need permission.
Yes, you do.
It's the First Amendment. Sir, do you write the Constitution?
Alex Jones encountered this in 2004, as you've seen in his film Martial Law, where thousands and thousands of protesters are arrested for no reason and journalists are intimidated again and again by police and told they don't have permission to film on the city streets of New York.
The police have been arresting reporters across the city, and a judge had ordered them to stop. but that just seemed to encourage them.
You see a credential. Take him out. How about we go to whoever gave those to you and get them revoked? I just asked you to do me a favor and not tape over
It's
here.
my fault, sir. I'm his boss.
No. Listen, first of all, I'm talking. I don't need you to interrupt me while I'm talking. All right?
Okay.
And I just got finished telling him that I don't want him taping over here.
Meanwhile, trading videos created by Homeland Security and sent to law enforcement agencies throughout the nation advise officers to view photographers as potential terrorist threats and to run them through the terrorist screening database.
See way down there? There's a woman taking photos of the dam. Someone called 911 and reported a suspicious person. As you guessed, she's going to be a Category 3 hit. And since it's very important that we don't let her know that we know, both the dispatcher and the officer need to make sure she doesn't hear the radio traffic.
Stand by. If I could ask you to wait right here, please.
Sure.
All over the country, there have been cases of reporters being arrested for simply filming federal buildings or police officers.
Police arrest folks all over the country for filming them in public, no matter how many times state and federal courts say it's constitutional. And federal buildings, they'll say don't videotape, even if it's the middle of downtown Austin, like we're terrorists.
Our own InfoWars magazine reporter was threatened with arrest for filming a judicial building in downtown Austin until Alex Jones protested the building and got them to admit that indeed the reporter had the right to take photographs of the building.
But listen, all I'm saying is okay, so it's not illegal for her as a journalist to take photos of this building across, okay. Because I had to sit there and explain to her that she's not going to go to jail.
In states like Illinois, they've abused wiretapping laws set up in the 70s meant to protect people from covert recordings and tried to apply them to out in the open cameras and audio recorders, trying to say that it's a crime.
Authorities are being ordered to stop arresting and charging citizens who record audio of police in public. But the ruling is only a temporary order, which says the Illinois eavesdropping law likely violates the First Amendment.
And they've even threatened people with life in prison for multiple counts of filming police.
Allison had faced eavesdropping charges for recording audio of law enforcement in public. Crawford County State's Attorney Tom Wiseman charged Allison with 5 felony counts. Each carries up to 15 years in prison.
Do you really think he deserves prison time?
It's not only outrageous, but it's a total chilling effect on free speech. Just last week during South by Southwest, our InfoWars street team was ticketed for trying to hand out free magazines. Again, a violation of the First Amendment.
As InfoWars is handing out our monthly magazine for free, South by Southwest got some Austin police officers to issue warnings, then tickets when we wouldn't stop. But there is no ordinance against handing out free information on public streets.
And it wasn't until Alex Jones went down there to protest that police backed off, and many of them admitted they thought it was wrong.
Did you hear that? Now South by Southwest people, because they didn't get the cops to harass us, because the cops are now behaving like they should under the Constitution, they're now having people come up and harass us saying you can't on city streets hand a magazine out because you're not South by Southwest.
So while we put the spotlight on the case of Mark Stone from Sky News and what happened to him in China and how they interfered with the media there, we should keep in mind that our own country is under attack, and if we don't stand up for the First Amendment, we're going to lose it. In the name of terrorism, they've tried to chill speech and criminalize photographing public officials, police officers, and just public events in general. We can't let them do it. We have to stand up to it and say no and stand up for our right to film. Signing off for Infowars.com, I'm Aaron Dykes. I want to quickly remind you, you could sign up for our free newsletter at Infowars.com/newsletter, and when you do it, you'll get a free e-version of our very popular InfoWars magazine.